Hey, 911, where's your emergency?
Just killing my mom and my sister.
Fear the dark.
Every child deserves parents, but not all parents deserve children. There are cases all over the globe involving child neglect, abuse, and other heinous acts towards the innocent. Sadness spread over many nations, and just this alone shows how far from the teaching of old we truly are. Parents are living gods. They'll do anything for the sake of their children's happiness without anything in return. Children are a gift from Yah, and it is said that our offspring is lent to us from the heavens above. We don't know how long we can caress them, so kiss them, teach them, and praise them for the greater future. But moreover, love them with everything you can every day that you are here. In this modern day, most values are lost, leaving our world as we know it today to be in shambles, which affects the minds of our little ones. The flashy displays of fast lifestyles, monetary gains, and partying all being damaged into our very human psyche, which leads to this question. Was having quote-unquote fun more important than rising up a potential pioneer for the future? Let's all find out in this shocking case of Crystal Candelario. Jalen Candelario, a 16-month-old child who experienced the most horrifying event of her life and made millions of people heartbroken. Her cries echoed throughout quiet streets near Lorraine Avenue and west of 97th Street, Cleveland in the dead of the night. The toddler whimpered and howled, but no one came to her rescue. After her mother, Crystal Candelario, 32, was away on June 6, 2023 on a 10-day summer vacation and had left Jalen alone in a playpen with a few bottles of milk. A neighbor's doorbell camera captured the 16-month-old frequent screams, including one around 1 a.m. 2 days after her mother left. Crystal was 100 miles away in Puerto Rico with a male friend, authorities said, after a few days at the beach and another stop in Detroit. She returned home on June 16th, where she found her daughter unresponsive and called 911, according to the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office.
Police dispatcher, public call, do you need police, fire, EMS? Cleveland Police, do you need police, fire, EMS? What's that?
We want 29, 197.
129, 3129, 127. Hello?
Please, I need help.
Okay, I can't help you if I don't know where you're at.
She changed the child's clothes before emergency responders arrived, but the change of clothes did not hide the horrors the girl had gone through and pronounced her dead shortly thereafter. Investigators soon found that Jalen was extremely dehydrated at the time of her death, and also was discovered in a packing playpen on a liner soiled with urine and feces with soiled blankets. Medical examiners determined that she died from starvation and dehydration. She weighed 13 pounds, about 7 pounds less than what was recorded her last doctor's visit about 2 months prior. Children experience the most extreme separation anxiety between 9 and 18 months. She recounted Jalen's excruciating final days. The pain and suffering she endured lasted not only hours, not days, but possibly even a week. The girl was emaciated, with sunken eyes, dry lips, and fecal matter in her mouth and fingernails, Moni said, fighting back tears. This feeling of abandonment for days on end, coupled with the pain of starvation and extreme thirst, is a type of suffering I don't think any of us could ever fully fathom, said Elizabeth Mooney, forensic pathologist, the Cuyahoga County medical examiner, told the court that Monday. Candelario's attorney, Derek Smith, said that she suffered with mental health issues and had tried to kill herself by overdose in 2023, after which she was given antidepressants. Smith said she stopped taking the medication and that influenced her judgment at the time that she left Jalen and went on vacation. County Common Pleas Court Judge Brendan Sheehan said the Tyler's death wasn't simply an oversight and told Candelario she had several opportunities to intervene and save her daughter's life. You committed the ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I've heard was the most gruesome death imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection, he said. He also accused Candelario of having showed no remorse. That little baby persevered, waiting for someone to save her, and you could have done that with a simple phone call. Instead, I see photos of you on a beach while your child was eating her own feces in an attempt to survive. He compared Candelario's life sentence with the confinement her daughter must have suffered before her death. The only difference would be that prison would at least feed you and give you liquids that you denied her, he said. Candelario pleaded guilty last month, February, to 1 count of aggravated murder and 1 count of child endangerment. In a statement to the court, Candelario said, "There's so much pain that I have in regards to the loss of my baby, and that every day I ask for forgiveness from God and from my daughter Jalen. I'm extremely hurt about everything that happened," she said. "I'm not going to justify my actions, but nobody knew how much I was suffering and what I was going through." End quote. Law enforcement officials, including Cleveland Police Sergeant Teresa Goldmans, fought back tears as they described the baby's condition as the most horrific they've witnessed in their careers. "And this is a case that we'll have branded in our minds and our hearts forever," Gomez said at the sentencing. Crystal Candelario was sentenced on Monday, March 18, 2024 to life in prison without the possibility of parole for her daughter, Jalen Candelario's death. Good evening, everyone. If you happen to like our content, then please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing is free. If you ever feel the need to change it, you can always do so. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you never miss any of our content. Now back to the video. Mental illness untreated is somewhat of an epidemic within our nation. Across the country, many people just like you and I work, perform, create, compete, laugh, love, and inspire every day. 22.8% of U.S. adults experience mental illness in 2021 statistics. This represents 1 in 5 adults. 3 to 5% of violent acts can be attributed to individuals living with a serious mental illness, where the 5.5% has risen to 7.5% from 2018 to 2023. In cases, individuals roam unchecked, leaving a person in question a ticking time bomb. They say that mental illness is not a destination but a process. It's about how you drive and not where you're going to. Sometimes the signs are there, and in other times it goes undetected. But the question is, were the signs evident concerning Brian Cohey Jr.? Let's watch this gruesome story unfold. Who is Brian Cohey Jr. and what did he do? Brian Cohey Jr., 21 years old, a young man who told investigators he chose a homeless victim because no one would notice his disappearance. Cohey was 19 when he murdered 69-year-old Warren Burns, a homeless man who slept under a bridge just blocks from downtown near Crosby Avenue on February 27, 2021. Cohey confessed that for months he'd been wanting to know what it felt like to kill someone. He had put together a kit with a 12-inch kitchen knife, plastic gloves, and other materials to carry out his plan. He spent weeks driving around looking for the right homeless victim, according to the testimony during his trial. The night he killed Barnes, he noted the occasion with a first in his cell phone notes. Furthermore, the now 21-year-old decapitated, dismembered, and mutilated Barnes' body. After doing that, he took some of the body parts home. Warren Barnes was known in Grand Junction, Colorado as the Reading Man. He would sit near Main Street and spend his days reading books, but when he suddenly disappeared, it wasn't long before authorities discovered that he had encountered a monster. Cohee's mother found Barnes' head in her son's wardrobe that was probably connected to the crime. She called the police upon making an extremely gruesome discovery. Along with Barnes' head, the late homeless man's hands were discovered in a separate plastic bag that was stashed in his wardrobe. As for the rest of the body, Cohee tried to discard of the evidence by putting it in the trunk of his car and attempting to drive the vehicle into the Colorado River.
Miss Jonathan, address emergency?
Hi, there is an emergency. I found something in my son's closet wrapped in a plastic bag.
Okay, what was it?
I think it's a human head.
It's a what?
I think it's a human head.
Why do you think it's that?
Because it looks like it's all an ear.
Is it bloody or does it like anything like that?
I just need to come. So I had to take a picture and send it to you.
What's the address? Is your son there now?
He just pulled up. We wanted to make sure he was here before we called.
How old is he?
19. He's had a little bit of a fascination with the morbid, but he was channeling it, I thought, into becoming a crime scene investigator, but not so much.
Do you think he's going to be cooperative with us?
I don't know. I don't think he'll be violent.
Cooperate? I am going to cooperate.
Okay, so parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Do you have anything on you he's going to cut?
Cohee was arrested on March 1st, 2021. Body camera footage and interview videos with investigators showed Cohee openly admitting to the murder. Brian Cohee confessed that he murdered Barnes, believing that nobody would miss the homeless man. Meanwhile, Cohee's attorney argued his mental health disorders, which include major depressive disorder, ADHD, and autism, combined with environmental stresses, triggered him when he saw Barnes. Following this, he killed the man. The defense's psychologist, Catherine Catton, stated that Cohee experienced a psychotic episode that had seen Barnes triggered him. This psychologist declared him insane. Catton told prosecutors Cohee had a mild form of autism and has no intellectual disability. She said she sent a letter of concern to his mother that he idolized infamous people such as Hitler, Stalin, and the Columbine shooters. Cohee told the doctor, "I want to be famous, and it doesn't matter for what." A jury found Cohee guilty of first-degree murder and 3 counts of tampering with the body and evidence. He had pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. The jury determined that Cohee was able to tell right from wrong after a 2-week trial filled with gruesome evidence and 2 days of deliberation. Warren Barnes lost his life in the most violent of ways. His friends, family, and community suffer his loss. 21st Judicial District Judge Richard Gurley sentenced Cohee to life in prison without the possibility of parole on March 1st, 2021, which is the mandatory penalty for first-degree murder in Colorado. Judge Gurley said, after 37 years of serving different capacities in the court system, including 16 years as a judge, this is one of the most horrific cases he has ever experienced. A memorial sculpture was erected in the breezeway near where he used to sit. It is a metal replica of his chair with a stack of books etched with the titles of some of his favorite westerns. An inscription was written on the back of one of the books that reads, "And you also." Justice was truly served, and while Warren Barnes is gone, he will never be forgotten. May he rest in power.
Kyra, Cohee's dad took the stand on Friday, and the prosecution presented evidence that continued through today. But before we get to the evidence, here's a recap of the People vs. Cohee Week 1. It's the kind of story only nightmares are made of. 21-year-old Brian Cohee Jr. on trial for the gruesome murder and dismemberment of a local homeless man on February 27, 2021. Cohee was arrested just days later in March 2021 following the discovery of remains belonging to 69-year-old Warren Barnes of Grand Junction stashed in Cohee's closet.
Good evening, everyone. This is Yuri K, and this is the end of the video. please leave a comment and let us know your opinions on the matter. If you happen to like this content, please check out our other videos. Make sure you like and share amongst your friends and family to help our community grow. You happen to be new to this channel? Please make sure you subscribe. It's free and you can always change it in the future. You have some terrifying story suggestions? If so, make sure that you send it to my email, fearofthedarkstories@gmail.com, and I'll feature it in a future segment. But you guys stay safe out there, and remember to always be afraid of the dark.